Hello, gorgeous empaths of the internet. I'm so stoked to be here with you today. We have a topic I'm really passionate about. The tool I'm talking about is Astrocartography. It is a combination of astrology and geography. If you don't know me, if it's the first time you come here, I'm Sara Francesca. I'm an empath success coach. I've been working in the coaching arena for about the past 10 years, and I do both energy work and coaching and subconscious reprogramming and quantum healing and spiritual channeling. I am a holistic guide for your success, but mostly what I help you doing is to really experience well-being. Because if you are an empath, you are normally overflowing with emotions and you're feeling too much and you're overwhelmed with life. The real success for empaths, as far as we rise the consciousness of the planet, we raise the consciousness, then we start to be more in our heart and we start to feel more others. And so all the trauma comes up and we need to fix it and we need to heal it and we need to work through it, and that's our collective work in the moment. So your success would be to embody your light, which means not only having the money, the relationship you want, the health you want and all of that, but especially having all of this while being happy and joyous on the inside. If you are having all of the outside stuff, but you're not happy and joyous on the inside, you're not successful. If you are having only the inside joy, but not all the stuff on the outside, well, you probably won't be defined as well successful. So the joyful success is something that stays in your heart, and it's something you can only do day by day when you dedicate yourself to self-improvement, to self-love, to discovering who you are, and to bring up your talents and live with your talents and live with the joy in your heart. Today, we're going to see a tool which is very nice to know of because it can help you to make so much progress in your life. The tool I'm talking about is Astrocartography. It is a combination of astrology and geography. So basically, it is a way that you have to see where the planets were when you were born on the map of the world. So you get this map of the world, you get with all the states, all the countries, all the cities, all the continents, and then you see lines on this map. And if you're watching the video in this moment, I can overlay a picture so you can see what an astrocartography map looks like. You have all these lines. All these lines correspond to different planets, and different planets correspond to different energies. So basically, when you know your astrocartography, that is only specific to you and it was born with you. So the minute you were born, the cosmos was at a certain combination, was at a certain placement. That placement got printed on this astrocartography map that you can find out on the internet. What is it for you? I'll tell you more about how to find out what your astrocartography is by the end of this video, but I want to first tell you why it's important for you to watch this. You can stay and watch this or listen to this podcast if you're just interested to know more about this topic, or it's the first time you listen about this word astrocartography, you hear about this word and you really want to know more about it. You are going to make the most out of this video if you are in a moment in your life where you feel confused, you don't know where you belong, you want to relocate somewhere. So you'll be always thinking about going somewhere to live, somewhere new, but you're not really sure where and you don't know how to choose. The choices are overwhelming. We have so much choices today in the world. So having a tool like astrocartography, knowing your personal map to your personal magic places on Earth, can help you make the right decision. Each different place has a different influence, whether you're looking for developing more of your money side, more of your relationship side, more of your spiritual side, more of your artistic side. So depending on what you're looking at developing in your life, you can travel to different places. Relocate yourself to different places. Another reason why you want to use astrocartography is, for example, if you're planning some traveling. So you don't want to relocate, you don't want to change your home, but you maybe want to know where to travel. You can spend money and time in a way that is more efficient to you. So for example, if you are a digital nomad and you're working on growing your business, you may be interested in going to stay in a place where you have some aspects of the planet that rule abundance and commercial agreements, which is normally related to Saturn. You want to go to a place on Earth where that Saturn is in a good aspect to you, so it has a positive influence. Now, if you go physically there and you do the same job you were doing, you do the same work you're doing in your business, but you're doing it there, this energy is amplified. So whatever input you put in, it just gets amplified. So this is a very smart way for you to know where to go and to know how to make the most out of your time and money on Earth. Exploring astrocartography is not only good for business, it's not only good if you're an entrepreneur, but you want, for example, to improve your relationships, or you want to improve the connection to your soul, or you want to improve your action and taking action in your life, you want to heal your feminine side, you want to heal your masculine side. Well, all of that, depending on the planet we take into consideration, we have different influences. And then there is the big fortune one. So the big fortune is the big fortune. So it entails everything. Basically, it's the way you can live the closest to your purpose. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to tell you what are the other cases you can benefit from astrocartography. For example, another case is if you don't want to travel, you have no resources at the moment, you have no time, no possibility for traveling, or you just have to stay where you are, it's okay, but you still want to see some changes happening in your life. If you want to see some changes, then you can call in the energies of those planets. Let's say, for example, that you want to write a book. So if you want to write a book, you want to have a blessing from Mercury, for example, and Mars. Why? Because Mercury is the planet that normally rules communication. So if you're going to write a book, you want your communication to be really good. You want your message to really land on people. Same if you're building a YouTube channel, for example, you want your communication to really land on people. So what you can do, you can work with the energy of the planet, the energy of Mercury, and bring it into where you are. Now you can do this through a visualization, or you can do it through the geography. So knowing your astrocartography map will tell you, for example, that your Mercury is shining in Brazil, but you're not currently in Brazil. Okay, so what you can do before you sit down and write your book, before you sit down and record your video, you call in the energy of Brazil with the intention of calling in the energy of Mercury, which is shining on Brazil on your specific map. So everybody has a different map. So you need to find out what are your specific magic places on Earth. You can call in this energy before you sit down and work on the project. And you can call it in on an ongoing basis. So for example, you can listen to some Brazilian music, you can dance to Brazilian songs, you can eat some Brazilian food, and really allow yourself to fall into the mood. You can decor your office with all Brazilian stuff and Brazilian objects and Brazilian mood. In that way, if you do it with intention, you are always going to activate that specific energy that is going to help you achieve your results faster. Finally, knowing about your astrocartography map can help you so much in saving so much time and money if you're going through a spiritual awakening, and if you want to become the person you want to be and to let go of the past, to let go of some stuff that you feel that you're waiting on you. You can decide to go to specific places on Earth that carry specific energy. For example, it could be Uranus or Pluto if you want to restart anew, depends. You can go and choose that place to go on a retreat. So rather than booking a retreat anywhere in the world, you first know your astrocartography map, and then you book the retreat specifically for a place that you already know it's going to be a magic place for you. So what you're doing, you are amplifying the effects. Now, the astrocartography works on the subtle energies. It means that the effect that you can experience, it is cumulative. The more you stay in a place, the more the subtle energies build up and the more you feel the effect of it. And the more you do the meditation, as we were saying before, on Brazil, because you want to call in the energy of Mercury related to Brazil, that's just the example we were talking about. So the more you do it, the more you feel the effect. The subtle energies compound on each other. It's like when you do meditation. I've started doing meditation 10 years ago. And at the beginning, it was very hard for me to meditate. But if you're a long-term meditator, or if you started meditating, you might have noticed that the more you meditate, the easier it gets for you to get into a state of meditation, and the more profound your meditation gets. Because this is called the compound effect. Much likely when you do investments, in the financial arena, you have these compound effects over time. So small bits, small bits, small bits, small bits, all put it together, it gives a profound effect. Same thing when we work with astrocartography, the longer you can work with the energy of a place, either by being there physically or by calling in the energy where you are, the better effect you will see. Don't expect just to go to a place, oh, I've saw that this was good on my astrocartography, I've been there 3 days and nothing happened. Well, you've been there just 3 days. Probably you were tired from the trip. Probably your nervous system was just trying to adjust to the new situation, so was not ready to receive the subtle energy yet. Probably you were just harassing yourself around and try to see as many things as possible, like we do when we go to a new place. So probably you were not in the right mindset and heart set to receive what the place had to give you. Just keep this in mind, because as everything working on a subtle plane, we need to give it time. But the results you can see are amazing. And the time is not even going to be that long. I am going to tell you a bit more about my experience, because this is really what makes me passionate about it. And this is why I'm also sharing this with you, because I never share something that I don't try myself. And I've been working with astrocartography for the past, I would say, 7 or 8 years, thinking about it now. Yeah, 7 or 8 years. And just recently, I started releasing a course. So I have a course in Italian, in my Italian school for holistic coaching. I have a course for astrocartography, which is in Italian. If you speak Italian, contact me and I can give you the link and you can find the course in Italian. And I also have a course in English. So you are going to be able, if you want to know more about astrocartography, you want to know more about how to read your map, how to come up with your map, how to work with it in your life, you are welcome to see the course I released about astrocartography and see if there's anything that interests you. But now let's go on with understanding how knowing about this energy of the planets can really have an impact on your life. I have to be honest with you, because I'm always honest about what I share, very honest and transparent. In the beginning, when I've heard about astrocartography, I was not really sure if I would have trusted it, because I always believe, being a coach myself, that you create your own reality kind of thing. So you have a really big say on how things go around you, which is also related to the art of manifesting, which is something I talk about in the frame of heart-centered manifestation, but that's another topic. So in the beginning, when I've learned about this, I was having a reading with an astrologer. I remember it was a few years ago. I was in the end of a relationship, like a partner relationship, and I was going through this breakup, and I knew that I had to change place. I knew that where I was living at the moment, it was in a small city in Italy, in the countryside, was not where I wanted to be living. I didn't feel connected there. And also I was interested always in finding what was my place on earth, because I had so much troubles in all my life to find my community, to find my people, to shine in community with people around me. I always felt so different. I wouldn't say not grounded, because I was grounding on earth and I felt connected with Mother Earth, but where are my people? Like, where is the place where I go and feel amazing? Where is the place where I can thrive? And I could not find it for the majority of my life. Then when I got a reading, Actually, I received a reading, so I was new to the topic. I had no idea how that worked, and the astrologer at the time was giving me some information, but not all of them. And that's why right now I prefer, I mean, I do give individual readings if you ask me to, but I prefer for you to have a course, because then when you have the course, you can understand how it works and you can go into it and see what you need. Take out the information that you need from your own astrocartography map in the moment when you need them in life, in different transition you're going through, and you don't have always to go and rely on a professional to do the reading for you, because what they do, they give you a little tidbit, but they don't give you the whole thing. Not because they don't want to, but really because it's so big what you can know through this tool that it would take 24 hours to have a complete reading. So of course nobody does it. They tend to tell you only the information that you need in that specific moment. So at that time, this astrologer told him I really wanted to go to a new place, my business was not working, my romantic life was not working, I was not feeling well, where should I go? He said straight away, he said, well, Italy is not good for you, and not even Europe actually. Why don't you explore Australia? And that's what he said. And then when he said that, it resonated with me, because since I was a little kid, I always wanted to go to Australia. Now, do you happen to have some places where you always know that you want to go to? You know that there are these places that you want to visit. You know that there are some specific places that awaken in you some memory, some inner knowing, some curiosity, and it's not just because of tourism. It's not because, oh, I saw this on the social, I want to do this too. It's some specific places that just called you. So to me, that was, for example, Australia. I always wanted to go to Australia. I remember I was 21, I was studying, I was out in Japan, so coming as a 21 years old, going to my very first big abroad trip in Tokyo, in Japan, and that lasted 1 year long. When I was there, Japan is like technically closer to Australia than Europe, and so I wanted so badly to go to Australia. I was a student, so I was looking at student visas, I was looking at ways I could study in Australia, and then I was seeing how expensive it was, and I was not really in that position, and also I wanted to finish my studies, and so I decided to go back to Italy and being determined in my first line of studies that I decided to pursue. That didn't happen, but that has always stuck with me. Then 10 years later, basically, I find myself in a situation where nothing is working. I really want to go to find my place on Earth. And this astrologer tells me, oh, you should go and check out Australia. Well, that resonated with me. But at the moment when he said that, we could not travel because we had this big thing going on in the world. And it was not a good moment to travel because all the borders were closed. You remember about that? Well, that's when that happened. And so what happened to my life is that I stayed where I was. And shortly after that breakup, I met another guy and I fell in love with him. And so I started adapting astrocartography because I said, well, this astrologer told me that this place was not really good for me, but look at me. Now I have this amazing boyfriend, I have an amazing house in the countryside, this amazing villa, we have the organic garden. Actually, I was living on an organic farm, so it was amazing view of the mountains, amazing quality of food, amazing guy, very romantic. One of my soulmate, manifested soulmate. The thing that was manifesting was exactly what it was on my vision board, exactly the same house as it was on my vision board. And so I started to feeling very lucky. And I said, well, actually, this astrologer probably was not right. Like maybe I should not trust this thing. The years go by. And what happened is that our relationship started falling apart, even though we were loving each other very much. The relationship starts falling apart. Even though I was there for 3 years, I could still not find my community. Like I still could not make any friends. Basically, I only had one friend. And my business locally was still not working. So my energy was still not working. And besides, I was having a lot of symptoms and I was sick all the time. You know, these very annoyances that you have as a highly sensitive. And so I was not well. When this other relationship broke, I thought, okay, 3 years ago, I wanted to travel to Australia. I didn't do it because of the war situation. Now the borders are open. It's now or never. And when I took that decision, I was shaking with fear because I didn't want to. I was very in love with this guy, even if our relationship had ended, but being a soulmate, I was very much in love with him. I didn't want to go away. I wanted to stay with him, even if it was not working. I was really scared and I didn't want to travel, but that was the only thing basically that could get me out of my depression, because I was feeling very, very low for many, many months and things were not working and I was destroyed. I was to the floor. So for me, traveling is a part of also who I am. I'm a little bit nomad in my blood. I like it. And so I said, okay, I didn't want to go. I felt pushed to go because of my circumstances. I didn't even have the money to go, the financial resources to go, but I still went. And the minute I decided, okay, I'll go, the exact month when I had to buy my flight for Australia, I made 3 times more money than I was making before. So that was like sign from the universe, you were meant to go on this trip. Now I go on this trip and I book a flight to Australia, to the location, the East Coast, the location that the astrologer said it would be good for me. I ended up being there for about 5 months and I didn't like it. So I had this dream of going to Australia since I was little, but when I was there, I didn't like it. I'm sorry, I know there are a lot of people who like it, a lot of people who are like raving with Australia. Maybe my opinion would change over time, but at the time I was there, I said, oh, is this it? So I decided to go to another location and decided to go to Bali instead. In the process of this, I was working a lot on my heart healing. I was doing a lot of inner work and spiritual work and emotional work to really heal from my heartbreak. And I succeeded at it. And that's also what I want to share in another video podcast, because it's so important for us empaths that we operate in the world from a healed and open heart. How do you know that you have that? You know that you have that when you're flowing with life, where opportunities come to you, when you're joyful, when you want to show up for your own projects, when you want to share yourself with the world, when you have self-expressions, when you have self-love, when your relationships are thriving, all of that, that's when your heart is healed. I was working on that, so it was not totally okay. So that might also have been a factor that has informed my experience in Australia, because I know that when I was there, my heart was a bit closed. I was like still working on my heartbreak. I was still having many, many days crying and of meltdowns. And so that might have had an impact for sure. But also I didn't feel connected to the culture or the place. I didn't feel it really. So then when I went to Bali, I loved it. I loved it like many people do, even though it has some downsides, which are pretty major to me, like pollution and noise and lack of nature. Actually, if you are in the cultural centers, there's no nature connection. But when I was there, I was deepening my heart healing. I was deepening my in connection with my intuition. I actually teach about a process which is called quantum intuition, which is bigger than your intuition. It comes from the quantum field, it comes directly from your soul, and this is how you know what is your next step, what's next step you're supposed to take if you want to live a soul-filled life. If you want to do that, you're gonna rely on your quantum intuition, and connecting to it is a specific process that I teach. There is a resource on my website that you can download, and you can have this path to connecting to your quantum intuition. It's very important for all empaths here. So it's a key part of your success. Anyway, I was working with deepening my connection to quantum intuition, and I kept asking, where should I go next? Where should I go next? Where should I go next? And I'm telling you how this is related to astrocartography, because actually, when I got the signal on where to go next, there was very last minute, but I only had 5 more days before my visa would run out in Bali, and I had not booked any flight, and I had to leave the country within like a week, and I had no idea where to go next. But when you work with quantum intuition, you have to trust in divine timing. So at the correct timing, the information came through, and I knew I had to go to New Zealand and to a specific city, which is Queenstown. That's what happened to me. Maybe for you, you can get another signal. I had no basically idea. I mean, people talk about New Zealand all the time, but I had very little idea about what is going on in this country, like what kind of country it is, Does it even exist? Isn't even just to go there on honeymoon? What I knew about New Zealand is that people from Italy, from Europe, they go here on a 12, 15 days road trip and they see New Zealand, and then they go through to Fiji Island, and then they come back maybe to some French Polynesia Island, and this is like the honeymoon, very expensive trip. That's all I knew about New Zealand. Like, I had no idea this was like a functioning country. It was not in my consciousness, not in my conscious awareness, but it was in my unconscious awareness, because that's where I got the signal. So it was already imprinted in my field. Now, what happened is that when I got that indication, I trusted it 100%, and I traveled to New Zealand. And when I arrived to New Zealand, I felt a magic connection to the place. I felt home for the first time in my life. I felt so good here that something in me started to shift at a profound level. And I had that minute, that sensation. I had that sensation very early on my journey here. Basically, the minute I landed with the plane. And of course, it's not like perfect. And I don't believe there's like a perfect country. There's a lot of downsides too, which is not the topic we're talking about here. But I want to tell you how much the geographic place resonated with my energy field. So what I felt, it's a feeling that you have. As an empath, you go out and about in the world, and you feel stuff. So the feeling I had was profound, and it was great, and it was something I was looking for all my life. There was no other place in the world where I just felt so good. When I came to New Zealand, and I have another video on that. It's called Are You Guided? And there I tell you about my first few weeks in this country. I tell you how things were coming up to me, like how much I was guided, how much I was flowing, how much opportunities and generosity, and just how easily I was manifesting like things out of nowhere, really, and without even doing that much effort. And you can watch that video. I'm gonna link it below here. If you're on the podcast, just go on the YouTube channel, and I'll link it to the description of the podcast as well, so you can watch it if you want to understand what I'm meaning. But just was such a state of flow, and it was so easy for me, everything. And then at some point, pick, I remember, and a light bulb went up in my mind, and I said, why is this place so magic to me? Like, why am I feeling so amazing here? Like, what is happening? What is going on? And then a light bulb went out in my mind, and I decided to go and look at my Astrocartography map. And then what I saw is that here, where I am in this moment, I have two big influences from two big planets or astro energies. One is the radiance, so it's the sun. Basically, I have the influence from the sun, which affects directly my radiance. And the other influence I have is from a big fortune. It's from the north. So here is a place where I am activated in my luck. I am lucky. I am naturally lucky. And this feeling is what is really helping throughout all my manifestations. I lead an intentional life. I believe I'm a co-creator of my life. So it's not that I wake up in the morning and I drink a beer and I hope people and situations and opportunities fall off from the sky. Of course, I'm doing some work for it. I'm showing up. I know what I'm doing. I'm living consciously and intentionally. But what I'm saying is that the energy of the place is helping me so much through the challenges. So much. It's really like my lucky place. It's really my lucky place. And I found out through astrocartography. So long story short, if you ask me, well, should I believe in this or not? Up to you. You test it. You decide whether you want to believe it or not for your life. But for me, at the beginning, I was not very sure about it. After all this life experience I got from the Italian countryside, the city, to traveling, to the Australia one, I came to really trust this tool. And then I came to feeling called to share this with more people, especially with empaths. And that's why I created the course about astrocartography. Now that I know about my astrocartography map, I can deliberately choose how to invest my time and energy to the places that I know are nourishing for me. Specifically for empaths, specifically for highly sensitive. If you self-identify with a person who can feel a lot the energies, who is hypersensitive to the emotions and the energies and the frequency and all of that, and to the environment you are put into, well then this is actually a good thing, because when you go to an environment where your astrocartography is positive, and so you have these magic places on Earth, you are going to benefit from it tremendously. In my case, I came here to New Zealand about 6 months ago now. And you can actually see my pictures, and you can see my expression changed. Because this is a place of radiance for me, I am embodying more and more of my radiance. And I'm not even doing an effort for it. I'm not like trying to make it I'm not even really doing it on purpose. It's just happening because I'm on this place. And so I just wake up and I feel good. I feel radiant. I feel happy. I feel lucky. I am overflowing with abundance. And I'm saying this even though I went through a lot of challenges. So I came here not financially prepared, not properly financially prepared for the prices of the country, which we know it's an expensive country to live in. I came here with no community whatsoever, 0 contacts, 0 friends, 0. I came here with no idea of where to go in this country, without a car. And if you have been living in Australia or New Zealand, you know that you need a car to go out and about in these countries. You just need a car. I came here with nothing. And in just 6 months, what I've built is amazing. I now have a community of friends that I'm getting to know, and those are people I resonate the most compared to the people I was resonating to in the other places where I was. I have enhanced my health naturally. I'm feeling good. My well-being is skyrocketing because I'm embodying more and more of this radiance. I have deepened my spiritual connection a lot. I have found a new home, actually different homes. I also have met a new beloved through heart-centered manifesting, a new partner, and this beloved partner is in my life now. Oh, and did I mention the partner that I met is actually from New Zealand. And so if we want to stay together for long term, which is our intention, but let's see how things go. Of course, I'm always open to flow, will allow me to stay in the country for longer. So the stars, the luck, combined with the heart-centered manifestation process, have activated the energy field around me. Now, if you still don't believe in astrocartography, it's okay, you don't have to. But I'm telling you that if you are a sensitive one, you can get so much blessings by moving consciously around the world or activating different energies through geographical places in your own quantum field. If you combine this with a heart-centered manifestation process, with using your quantum intuition to evolve, this is all stuff I teach. I teach in all of my programs, all of my transformational programs. We go one-on-one or sometimes in groups, and I teach you how to do this in your life, because that's the basics of your success. And then you can create that well-being, that amazing opportunities in your life. Even though you are going through challenges, when you are developing inside of yourself the emotional resilience, the trust in life, when you're healing your heart, when you're moving on your purpose, nothing can go wrong. And this is the message that I have to bring to a lot of other empaths, because I can see, and I always say this, I see so many empaths not doing life as it is supposed to be. You're not supposed to suffer, to feel too much, to be overwhelmed, to be outside of your purpose, to looking frenetically for your purpose, to trying to make ends meet. You don't have to worry about all of that. You came here to feel well on the inside and to exude love and light in the world. That's why we need so many empaths, because we need so many people connected to the subtle energies and to the energies of love, to the energy of peace, to the energy of harmony. And we need those people bring that message, embody their message, and bring it out in the world. We need to shift the paradigm this way. So your success is guaranteed whenever you create that safe space inside of you and you cultivate it throughout the years. Now, with astrocartography, it can really help, because I believe that I can see how this had an effect in my own life. When I was living in places they were not good for my astrocartography. They were not lucky places for me on Earth. I was having the same shitty situation, sorry for the word. I was going through heartbreak. I was going through not having a nice job. I was going through financial distress. I was going through physical challenges and health challenges. And it was just hard. Whereas here, where I am blessed by the stars, I've done some inner work for sure. My consciousness has raised, so I'm a different person. I'm coping better with the challenges. I have more emotional resilience for sure, but also I am helped by the subtle energies of the space because I do a conscious connection with them. So if you want to deepen your spiritual connection, this is a perfect tool to work with. Now, if you want to go deeper into the topic, you can buy my course on astrocartography, and you are going only for you watching this video. So there's only two places where I'm going to put this: the video, the description of the video on YouTube, and the description of the podcast. I'm going to put there a coupon that is going to give you a 50% off. I don't know how long I will leave the coupon there. I don't know what time you will going to be watching or listening to this. Please go check out, click on the link in the description, see if the coupon is still valid. You're very welcome to buy the course with 50% off. If it's not valid, you can still buy the course full price and you can enjoy it. And then you can come back to me and tell me what was your experience with it. If you want to share any question or any comment about your experience with astrocartography, you're also welcome to leave a comment on the YouTube. If you've been coming so far to watch this video, please leave a like at least, if not subscribing to the channel, so that you give appreciation for all of these informations I gave to you. And if you listen to the podcast, also you can give a quick like or review wherever you're listening to this podcast. Now, thank you so much for having been here with me today. I hope you got inspired and I hope you want to go deeper into this topic. Above all, I wish you a lot of fun. Remember to be in your joy and to be in your healed heart. You are a light and you're meant to shine.